What is up, you guys? The Jaeger here, coming at you with a little Destiny quick playing guide. I just want to make a quick little tutorial. I'm going to go in depth on the guns and everything closer to the release of the game itself. This is all beta footage right here. And what I wanted to go through is I just kind of want to show you my playing style on how I utilize different weapons to do different things. There's a lot of different tactics you can use in this game. And there's a lot of different types of guns, from the shotgun secondaries to the snipers to the fusion rifles. The primaries, you're going to have your autos, your burst, your single shot, and your hand cannons. I don't use all of them. I found my preferred setup, and I hope that you all find your preferred setup. But you do need to switch between them. You need to make sure you're in range, and I'm gonna make guides on how to use those guns, how to go through, and when you're playing a shotgun, how to try to play more conservatively and get in those close range battles, even on the bigger maps like this. Like right now, you're watching me use the shotgun, and I'm kind of going around and trying to keep my distance in engagements. And right here, I didn't want to be in this engagement, so I was trying to set myself behind this wall so I could get a little protected. I use all the classes throughout the beta, and switching between the jumps kind of messes with me. In this one, I'm using a warlock. I prefer to use the hunter because of his jumping abilities, but as you see a couple times in this video, I'll come pretty close to dying. I have a couple different clips as well, with different gameplays with different characters. But as you can see, my preferred setup with a shotgun is the shotgun's almost a one hit, and then you just put a melee with it and pretty much two hit anyone that way. That was my preferred tactic with this class setup, or just two shotguns like that one right there. And every gun you're going to need to have like a different kind of like mentality. Like with the auto rifle, you're going to be a little more quick. As you see here, I'm actually using my radar on the top left, which is something you really need to do. I see there's enemies on both sides. I'm kind of letting my friend die here, and then I clean up the kills. I don't know how these people didn't see me sooner. But you really need to utilize that radar up there. It's very useful. You can't use it whenever you're ADS, and it just kind of gives you a general idea of where people are. But like just like that right there, if I wouldn't have been looking at my radar, I would have never saw that guy coming, and he would have probably just plowed right through me. Another big thing is you need to try to hip fire a decent amount. Sometimes you're not going to be ready to just shoot, and you're just not going to be prepared. So if you just hip fire it, you'll have it right there. I actually didn't realize that was an enemy at first on that little piece. But just hip firing helps you out because you can start getting those extra shots before, because most people are so used to ADSing that if you just hip fire those first few, you'll get a little bit of ground on the other person, and that ground might be the difference. Like that right there, you just see me snap on them with the hip fire, then go right on my ADS and just finish them off that way. And then especially if you're trying to move quickly, I play on different sensitivities, but I've started to switch back to a slower sensitivity, just for the reasoning of it helps me stay on people and I don't like start missing once I've already started hitting a player, whereas beforehand I had that issue a little bit. Here you're going to see me switch to a fusion rifle, which I prefer more than the shotgun because they're almost a one-shot kill, just a one quick burst, just like you see that right there. But they're a little bit different range. And then also you're going to have your heavies, which are very powerful. I kind of speed run through this right here. I figured you didn't want to watch all this boring gameplay in the middle. But the heavies are going to be beyond powerful. They're very OP. That's why the ammo is very hard to get. OP is overpowered for those of you who aren't big into video games. But just see here, I just plow through people hip firing, and it's like it's no problem at all. So whenever you see heavy ammo, please get it. It's so simple. Nobody really checks it, and I mean in the lobbies I've been in, it's not been a big commodity. Like you can still see the other heavy on the map at the other end, and I believe I wind up going to get that here in a few. And it's ridiculous how people don't get it. I mean, if you have I would prefer an LMG over rocket launcher unless you're trying to deal with the vehicles, which on this map can be a huge issue. You really just should utilize it as much as you possibly can. It's something that's very undermined. That it can make a lot of people a lot better. I waste a lot of time trying to chase this guy down, but I wind up getting him anyway. But the map is the only reason why I continue to know where he's at. It's kind of like a sonar, so shooting early doesn't hurt you as much. Like if you shoot at a guy off in the distance, unless he's really like focused in or prepared for it, he's not going to know where you're at. So there's no downside to making those long distance shots. Whereas in Call of Duty, you can take that long distance shot, you pop up on somebody's radar, then they come and kill you. So it is an advantage of this game, but you just have to play to it. All the things that the game offers, you have to cater to, and you have to kind of play to make yourself play better. That's why you should always switch between the guns. Like this right here, I use my special a lot of times on vehicles on this map just because they are so powerful. Whereas when you have the other characters, you can use their specials to throw like the to throw like the plasma grenade or whatever the crazy thing is, and the other one to like smash the ground. I utilize those mainly on vehicles on Moon, and then on the other maps I try to get big points, like whenever you're trying to fight for a point and it's a really big deal. I try to use it on that. And as you can see here, I'm just showing more play of how a heavy can just tear through people. And then I showcase a few more of the weapons. But just, I mean, I can eat this I can get this 2-piece right here, just eating bullets like there's no problem, because you have enough health in this game where if they're using a standard gun, you're pretty much going to live, unless they're using like a fusion up close or a sniper rifle or something like that. Another thing right here is you always want to try to dodge people's supers. It's kind of harder to do, with the exception of the gunslinger, because you know when he's in it. The other guys just kind of leap up and throw it at you. Whenever you see somebody like a gunslinger go up into the air with his golden gun, you should probably just hide, not come out and wait a little while, because he is going to try to kill you. It's just common sense stuff like that. Just don't try to challenge those people, and there's a lot of times that people just make the mistake of challenging when they shouldn't. I just got lucky right there with that kill, and that's one of those times where I probably shouldn't have challenged, but I did anyway. But you should just always try to stay keen. You should always try to stay up to speed with your environment. Like there, I was ADS for a really long time, and that's how I didn't know that the guy was sneaking up on me. But here, I knew the guy was there, so I just charged him and just got the quick pickup. So like I said, that map is very important. At all times, you need to try to stay focused on that map. And then also be cognizant of your health. Like right there, I knew I had enough health where he couldn't get enough shots in me in the time it would take me to double melee. So that's why I just went ahead and rushed for that. And there's plenty of times when you should just rush for the melee instead of trying to get the shots off. Just depending on what type of weapons they have, because usually you can get 2 melees in most of the time before they can charge a fusion rifle. So that's something that you should use to your advantage. But like I said, I'm going to be making videos for all the guns, all the setups, all the classes, all the players, all the maps. So closer to the game's release, I've got a ton of footage from the beta, and I'm going to try to continue to get more footage from the beta, and I'm going to release all that in the weeks leading up to the game. Until then, I'm going to be releasing a lot more Call of Duty content, because that's the game that's currently on. That's the game most people are competing in still. So I'm going to try to release a bulk content of that, kind of showcase what I'm going to be doing for Destiny as well. And then I'll be doing it for the new Call of Duty, and I'll be doing it for most FPSs in the fall. I'll be on a certain schedule with maps one day, weapons one day, and I'll be releasing that closer to the day of, and I might release that right before I do my Call of Duty setups. But thank you guys for watching. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, or want me to elaborate on anything, just feel free to let me know. And always like and subscribe. It helps me out a ton, guys. But thank you for watching. Peace out, guys.